All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Limitless MD. I'm your host, Vikram, Raya, and today I want to get into something called the hierarchy of needs and sort of the limitless pyramid. What if you could reclaim hours of free time each week, create legacy building wealth, and devote more energy to your passion projects without giving up on your career as a life-saving MD? My name is Vikram Raya, functional cardiologist, high-performance coach, and real estate expert. And I'm here to give you the tools, strategies, and solutions you need to transform your life so you can unlock your limitless potential and achieve greatness, all the while freeing up your precious time. Welcome to Limitless MD. Let's dive in. So many people that I speak to, whether they're coaching clients or just folks, everyone's trying to chase something. Everyone's trying to download something into their life. What are they trying to download? They're trying to download, wealth, mindset, becoming more time efficient, and all these things that are trying to pursue and chase. Let me tell you the problem with that. The problem with that is if you try to download everything onto your hard drive, your brain, and into your life, it's going to create stagnation. It'll be very difficult. You'll get frustrated because of the length of time to acquire all these skill sets and attributes. So instead, I suggest a certain hierarchy, a certain syntax, a certain sequence or order in which you want to acquire the components of a limitless life. And I propose to you that there are 7 major categories in life: vitality and energy, mindset, motivation, time and productivity, relationships, your career and mission, wealth, and then finally, legacy, impact, and purpose. These are the 7 buckets, the 7 categories, the 7 areas in which, if you start mastering these things, it will propel your life. It will accelerate your life. You will move forward faster, quicker, better. And eventually you'll live in flow and not so much in hustle and trying to overcome resistance, but you'll be going in tune with nature, with the laws of the universe. And that's what you want. All right. So, and the reason why I use the word download or things like that is I really think of these things as almost like apps. If you want to download all these 7 apps at once, it will really put a burden on your iPhone or your Samsung device, right? It's a ton of bandwidth. You're downloading some are bigger files, some are smaller files. And all of it you'll have all those circles that are slowly filling in, but no one thing will be completed, and you'll have to wait a long time, and you'll be frustrated along the way. So what's the solution? I think there's an order to things. And I propose to you that vitality and energy should be the first thing you want to download. Why is that important? Well, I think it's important because if you have the vitality, the energy, the physical fitness, the sort of the state of an entrepreneur, the state of an outstanding physician, the state of a person who's a phenomenal father or a mother, and they're taking care of their kids and their parents and everything. That's what you want. You want this high energy state, and you have to create it. You have to generate this energy. It's not given to you. I don't normally wake up with a ton of energy. I have to manifest it using certain protocols. So we've talked about, the gallon of water in the morning, the green energy drinks, sleeping using the 10-3-2-1-0 formula, taking something like an Athletic Greens, a super greens drink in the morning. All of that helps create vitality, creates energy, and then doing, the resistance workouts. That's what I do. And this is my foundation. This is my base. This is what I build my pyramid of limitless on. Next comes the mindset and motivation piece. So mindset and motivation. What is it? Why is it important? I really believe mindset is the lens in which you view everything. Mindset is what differentiates 2 people with equal attributes, equal skill sets, equal opportunities. But one set has the mindset of a champion, a winner, has that cutting edge, propensity where they don't blame, they take life as is, and they manufacture success. And there's intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. I'm talking about, the cars, the houses, the planes, the vacations, all that's great. And I want you to have as much of that as you want. But it's the intrinsic motivation to be the best in your field, to be the best version of yourself. And that's what's going to drive you long term. And it'll give you internal satisfaction that's unparalleled. And it's immune to what I call hedonic adaptation. What is hedonic adaptation? So, scientifically speaking, each time you get a reward in life, you get a dopamine hit, which is a neurotransmitter for your success and pain, success and pleasure. So each dopamine hit, like if you get a car, first you like get a Corolla, that's your first car ever, you're super excited. Next, you can't, if you get another Corolla, it doesn't give you the same hit. So then you get it like a BMW. Now you're super excited, but for some reason it still doesn't give you the same hit as your first Corolla, but you're still excited about it. And then your third car is a Mercedes, and you're like, whoa. Then you just go up that ladder. You get subsequent less dopamine hits regardless, and you have to just do something more grander, more extravagant to achieve the same dopamine hit. That's a scientific explanation for hedonic adaptation. In real life, hedonic adaptation is, look, what you're surrounded by, what you're used to, you can become acclimated to. So the extrinsic rewards over time you become immune to, and the joy diminishes respectively. But like the joy of doing a good job, the joy of climbing a mountain, that money can't buy, the respect you earn from your peers and colleagues, being a good father for years and years on end, that's an internal joy and satisfaction that can never be matched externally. And so that's intrinsic drive, intrinsic motivation, sort of a bulletproof mindset. And you evolve into, first, you're, reactionary, you're like the mediocre, and you're just, going through life in sort of more of a reactive mode. And then the goal is eventually to get to where you're proactive, you are joyful, you're appreciative, you have gratitude, you're striving for success so you can enjoy the journey, and the destination is a nice, data point, but that's not what you're doing it for. So vitality, energy, next is mindset, motivation. What's next? Time and productivity. Time and productivity are very crucial because you need to create slots in your life where the things that matter get scheduled and get done. And because you have the energy, because you're motivated, and you've created the good habits, now it's just about creating a framework in which you put all these certain inputs to yield a certain output in life. If you master calendaring, if you master time blocking, and you master these things, and you master ultradian rhythm and working in 90-minute windows, and then mastering, business operating systems or life operating systems where you realize that the 90-day sprint is very crucial to you hitting your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year goals, then you can become highly efficient. So vitality, energy, mindset, motivation. Number 3 is time and productivity. What's next? Relationships. This is really the juice of life. If you master relationships, if you learn to master emotion and meaning, and you master that you go to a relationship to give, not to get, and you have joy in these categories of your life, you will truly, truly be fulfilled. Number 1 is yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. That's your number 1 relationship. Number 2, your significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, whatever. That is very powerful. See, in life, you don't get to choose your siblings. You don't get to choose your parents. You don't get to choose your children. The only person you get to choose in your life is that companion of yours. And it should be the right one. And I've done some exercises called the mate from heaven and the mate from hell. So we'll talk about that on another episode, but really finding that ideal person and then going into the relationship to give, to over deliver, to what's important to that person should be important to you. That's the mindset of that intimate relationship. Next is really putting your kids as a true priority. A lot of people say their kids are a priority, but when I look at people's calendar, you can easily see it's not. So making your kids that priority and spending time with them while they're with you, and then when they move on to the second and third phases of their life, it's being there as a friend, as a counselor, and as a person with, unconditional love and support. They don't need to achieve anything to win your love. You give them the love, and then if they achieve something, that's just a bonus. That's the relationship you want to get into. And then finally, your team and your career relationships. That's important. Then you move on to your career and mission. What are you meant to do on this earth? What are you currently being paid to do? Is that in alignment with your life and goal and mission? Great. If not, consider either adding side hustles or other things, and slowly walk your way or inch your way toward your major mighty mission in life. And then we go to wealth. So if you're doing all these things, you're ready for massive wealth creation. I want you to earn multiple streams of income. I want you to create a foundation of wealth. I want you to create a war chest of money that you can use as a tool to enhance your life and the people around you's life. And then when you hit what we call threshold, that's when you go into charitable giving and using your money as a tool to make the world a better place, right? You're outside of yourself, and you're there for something greater. And then finally, you have legacy, impact, and purpose. This is where the things you do in the next 1, 3, 5 years, and 10 years, are you going to be remembered in 200 years because of what you've done? How many people have you been able to help while you're on this planet, right? Have you become truly an optimized human being? And what is it that you want to leave behind to your children, to your children's children, to their children? Is your company going to be around for 100 years? Is the charity or the nonprofit you created going to live beyond your life frame? And these are the kind of deeper questions. And I would even pose the buzzword self-actualization, where you realize, we're all essentially cosmic dust, taking a couple of spins around, a glowing yellow orb. And sometimes, what's really the point of life? And you have to say, you can really be humbled by how insignificant we are in the whole universe. And then if that's the case, then, majoring in the majors and avoiding getting unnecessarily worked up over the minor things in life, and just being a force for good, a force for positivity, a force for helping, and then again, the more you can add value to the world, to the earth, to your friends, to your family, the more joy you'll have. And at this stage, I'm thinking JPF, joy, peace, and freedom, is really your driving, factor. So guys, I went philosophical, I went tactical, I went all around it, but this is what I consider is sort of the Limitless MD hierarchy of needs. You start with vitality and energy, number 1, mindset, motivation, number 2, time and productivity, number 3, relationships, number 4, career and mission, number 5, wealth, number 6, and legacy and impact and purpose, number 7. So there's going to be a PDF and a slide that'll be in the show notes, so you guys can pick that up to actually see the visual representation of this. All right, guys. Until next time, be phenomenal. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Limitless MD. If you found value from this episode, I encourage you to share this episode with a friend and let me know by leaving a review. For more information, make sure you check out the links in the show notes below or simply visit vikramraya.com. So until next time, my friends, be phenomenal.